Good afternoon, everybody. Let me bump down this audio down a bit. All right, Aaron, how you doing? Thanks for popping in the stream. Uh, Making banana bread got me in the background. Nice. Love me some banana bread. Just taking some time, having an afternoon coffee, and gonna play some Thousand-Year-Old Vampire. This is part three. We're gonna do a quick recap of what happened in part two. After I take a sip. For any of you that are here and watching and have not seen my Thousand-Year-Old Vampire stream before, it is a solo journaling game in which you reenact the memories and lost memories of a vampire that can live upwards of 1,000 years. Um, I appreciate it, Aaron. my voice is so soothing. I've actually been told that before. I don't hear it. Like, I guess hearing my own voice, it doesn't sound soothing to me. But other people said I've had a soothing voice, so appreciate it. Have fun baking your banana bread. Don't forget about it, because I've forgotten about things in the oven, and it's not pretty. Of course, my culinary skills aren't very top notch either. But yeah, so let's recap what happened in part two of Thousand-Year-Old Vampire. Um, Actually, we'll just recap the whole thing. So in part one, created a vampire. His name was John Hauser the Fourth, the son of John Hauser the Third, naturally, who was a duke in England, 13th century England. And the young Hauser the Fourth became a vampire, turned by a immortal vampire named Abigail Brown. His father, the duke, found out that young Hauser was a vampire and actually didn't turn on him, but helped him. Built him a hunting lodge out in the wilderness for him to stay in. However, um, upon another meeting with Abigail, young Hauser actually found that she had a docket of various vampire names and locations across the world. But in order to get back at young Hauser for stealing that, she hired some vampire hunters who happened to be led by another vampire. So, kind of a Blade situation going on there, I would guess. This other vampire's name was Cordelia. And her vampire hunters kind of chased John Hauser out of England. And John Hauser was forced to relocate to Italy. Changed his name to Silvia DeCenzo. Kind of became a cattle rancher there in a ways, a livestock herder. That was also a way for him to avoid feeding too much on humans, because he kind of had a taste for large mammals. It's kind of a large mammal, ungulate type thing going on in this playthrough. Some of the skills include large mammal husbandry and veterinarian surgery, horse training, can smell large mammals. Those are all skills of Mr. Silvio D'Ascenzo, formerly known as John Hauser IV. So, we are going to get back into playing. Our last prompt we did in the journal was prompt 23, which was mastering a strange new science or field of knowledge. How does your vampire nature give you special insight into these studies? And that's how the skill veterinary surgery came through. So we're going to go ahead and get into playing. We got to roll some dice here to figure out what our next prompt is going to be. And we're just going to get into it. Alright, so let's see. Where's my dice roller? Here it is. We're going to roll a d10 and a d6. That's a 7 and a 5. The difference is 2. So we move ahead 2 prompts. And okay, your methods for acquiring victims are no longer effective. What has changed? Lose a resource, create a skill which describes your new feeding techniques. So, take a look at the sheet. We're going to lose a resource, create a skill. So what resource do we have to lose? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Silvio D'Ascenzo, or DeCenzo, I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. That's a fantasy name generator name, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Doesn't have much in resources. It has a diary, the Docket of Vampire Names, the Holy Grail, which he must lose in an immortal encounter that tells him to lose a resource, and a small bit of land in central Italy. I guess it makes sense for him to lose his land, since he's been kind of using the land to raise livestock for his feeding. So it makes sense for him to lose that land. He has already killed off all his followers, the servitors of the Hauser lineage, which were actually members of his own house that he was chased out of in England, but through bloodthirst, he's killed them all off. So he's killed off his own family line. Pretty much, he's like one of the last Hausers left. So we're going to lose that resource of a small bit of land in central Italy and create a skill which describes your new feeding technique. So I guess Silvio is going to have to go to the city and start ravaging normal humans like a regular vampire would. So we're going to have to go ahead and add a skill in here. What skill would that be? Stealthy murder? Like, how would he, so I'm imagining this is about 15th century now, so Silvio has been alive for probably about 2 centuries now. 15th century Italy. Don't know much about 15th century Italy, but they did have cities. I mean, I know Rome was a city, Florence, and Venice. Yeah. So the skill, well, I'm gonna say body disposal. I know it's a bit grim, but you can't just leave bodies laying out in the street if you're a vampire. We're going to strike out our small bit of land in Italy since Silvio is now living in a city. Let's see. So what memory can we put this in? This one mentions finding the Holy Grail, of all things. Nature changes slowly. Doesn't really fit in that one. It fits in memory 4. Sweet taste and craving for the blood of humanity led me to feed on my own servitors. They are gone, but I've taken their land for my own. This is my home now. I think it fits in memory 4. So we're going to put it there. Was forced to move into the city. Plenty of street folk to take without raising too many suspicions. Crimes not found are crimes not committed. All right, there we go. Silvio is now a city vampire, taking the lower, not as fortunate folks off the street for feeding and disposing their bodies in a way that they're not really found. Crimes not found are crimes not committed. That's how Silvio sees it. Okay. Let's go ahead and move ahead. Do another roll here. That's the D10. That's the D6. Looks like we're moving backwards 2 places. Back to prompt 23. So this time we'll do the second question on this prompt, since it's the second time we landed on it. You strike up a long correspondence and fall in love. Create a mortal character. Go to them by giving up a resource, or smother the love and lose a memory. So we have a choice. I don't really have Too many resources to give up. I can lose the docket that lists the various vampires. Crimes not found or crimes not committed. Is that what I heard? Yeah, that's what you heard. It sounds like my Machiavellian character Alice. Love that type of MO. I know, right? That's just the type of thinking you have to twist your brain in when you're playing an immortal creature like a vampire. Unfortunately, that humanity is just a resource for the most part, especially one that forgets their humanity over time, like which is written in the mechanics of Thousand-Year-Old Vampire. You just forget. I don't want to lose my diary yet. I don't know. I could lose my diary, and then I would lose all these memories that are in the diary. I'd lose the memory of Abigail turning me. I'd lose the memory of the other vampire, Josh Day, that stole my boat. I'd lose the memory of my father, of my sister, and that I even had descendants of my house that worshipped my existence. It is a hard choice. Vampire, the ultimate capitalist. I know, right? I mean, they just have, you know, they have an advantage, the benefit of time, that most people do not. Especially in a capitalist society. I mean, what's stocks and bonds when you can watch them grow for 300 years? Alright, strike up a correspondence and fall in love. Create a mortal character. So I gotta do that. So let's create a mortal character. The only mortal character I have right now is Ernesta Fiorentino, who was searching for the Grail. Let's pull up fantasy name generators. That way I don't sit here for 10 minutes and think about a name. It's a long range correspondence. How about French? Would Silvio be into the French girls or guys? Or both? Or either? Noelle. Noelle Durand. It's a nice name. Noelle Durand. We'll leave it ambiguous on gender. Noelle Durand. Strike up a long correspondence and fall in love. What does Noelle Durand do? Vampire is uncomfortably into Dogecoin. I don't know. Crypto might move a little fast for a vampire. They'll blink. Oh man, remember that time? Those few years? No, not really. Few years and centuries. A school teacher. Let's go with it. A school teacher in France. Or museum curator. I think I'll go with the school teacher. School teacher's nice. It's nice, comfy and I don't know, just a very grounded profession. And a very juxtaposed profession, be conversing with vampire. School teacher in France. Question is, does Noelle, do they know about Silvio being a vampire? I think so. I think Silvio would be very frank about that. Yeah, no problem, Aaron. Yeah, knows Silvio's truth. I think that fits nicely. Alright, so we created the mortal character. We can go to them by giving up a resource, or smother the love and lose a memory. You know what? I think I am going to lose the diary. Lose the past and try to start a new life in France. That sounds pretty cool. I think I'm going to do that. So this diary is going to be wiped out. Let's see. There we go. So pretty much Silvio is forgetting everything about being a Hauser. I don't think he has any memory left of being a Hauser. And the only connection that he would have left to that time would be Abigail and Josh and Cordelia, the vampires. Or the immortals, at least. Yeah. Alright, so where do I put this memory? This has to do with Italy and animals. This one, nature changes slowly. People who change, age, forget, and die. Forest looks the same as it did a century ago. Yeah, let's lose this memory. We'll start a new memory here. It's a lot of forgetting. Noel made Silvio forget a lot about his past, so gave up a resource and we're going to them. We're going to France. I have moved. I mean, southern France is not that far from Italy. You like southern France, I guess? Yeah. I've moved to southern France to be with my love, Noel. That is... The past has become blurry, but the future seems hopeful. There we go. I've moved to southern France to be with my love, Noel. The past has become blurry, but the future remains, or the future seems hopeful. That seems to sum up our relationship. So Noel really caught Silvio's heart there in the correspondence letters. All right, let's move forward. Get us another roll here. An 8 and a 2 for a +6. And we are at 23, so that'll put us up at 29. Okay, you are exposed as a monster and flee to a far-off land. Oh man, that was a very, very short-lived honeymoon there with Noel. Lose any stationary resources. You do not know the language of this new place. How do you overcome this obstacle? What new name do you take? Okay, so we have to take a new name. Where do we go, though? Lose any stationary... Well, I don't have any stationary resources anymore. And I'm not encountering an immortal, so I don't have to lose the Holy Grail. But where do we go? And what new name do we take? Do we head east? I mean, we've been in Western Europe for the most parts. How about Russia? Yeah, let's go to Russia. Let's see. So we're gonna take a new name. All right. Let me look up a Russian name here. Russian names. Oh, Misha. Misha Ilyich. Okay, we'll go with that one. Misha Ilyich. All right. Misha Ilyich. No longer Sylvia DeCenzo. What ad is playing? Where do I got an ad playing? Really? Name generator had an ad pop up. Okay. So we are now Misha Ilyich. Moved to Russia. Do not know the language. How do you overcome the obstacle? How do I overcome the obstacle of language? I'm really running out of resources here. I only have 2 resources left. It's not good. I need to gain some resources. I got plenty of skills. Man, that's a tough question. Do I bring an interpreter with me? Man, I don't get to create a mortal, but I can bring somebody along, maybe even somebody unwilling. No, that wouldn't work because they would just expose me. How do I overcome the obstacle of not being able to speak Russian? That is a tough one. Right. Noel's family. Can't type. Learns of the monster I am and chase me from my love. Chase me away. Okay. Move east to the old confines of Moscow. Yeah, Moscow seems fine. Cannot speak the language here, so I pretend to be a mute. Homeless mute. Thought is Good thing I lack the need for warmth. He's a vampire, of course. Vampires don't need to be warm. Alright. There's that one. That was a nice quick one. Let's go ahead and roll again. D10. 4 and a 6 plus 2, so we're going to move up to prompt 31. You fall into a deep slumber for 100 years. Strike out any mortal characters. Okay, so moving forward in time, we are now awakening in 17th century Russia. I love this game. Alright. You are moving to the Dead Mortals. No clue. No. You all passed. No mortals. Take this down to the next page. Let's see. Fall into a deep slumber for 100 years. Check out any mortal characters. It's such a short prompt. I guess I can... So I could put it here, and then we can create a new diary. I awaken with 17th century having arrived. Sleep was rejuvenating, but it feels like the world is beginning to move faster. All right. We're going to move this into a new diary. So this will be diary number 2. Memory. Oops, not that one. All right. So now we have an open memory slot we can use in case something new pops up. All right. Rolling the dice. We get a 2 and a 2, so we stay right here on this prompt. The next question. You recognize the descendant of a dead mortal who features in one of your memories and feel compelled to make their acquaintance. How do you share knowledge about their ancestor without revealing your monstrous nature? How is this conversation awkward? Gain a contemporary and unexpected skill. Create a mortal character, a new friend. Okay. Recognize the descendant of a dead mortal we still have memory of. I don't have a direct memory of a dead mortal. The only one I have is Noel. Because none of my other memories, yeah, none of my other memories that have a mortal that I remember. Or Misha slash Silvio slash John. Okay, feel compelled to make their acquaintance. It has to be descendant of Noel Durand, school teacher in France. You share knowledge about their ancestor. Or how do you share knowledge about their ancestor? How was this conversation awkward? Yeah, like, number one, why would a French person be in Russia and just randomly come across somebody that knows one of their ancestors or knows about one of their ancestors from a century earlier? Gain a contemporary and unexpected skill. Create a mortal character, a new friend. So what would be a contemporary and unexpected skill? How about gun making? That's unexpected. But guns had come on the scene by then. And we're getting more and more use by this time. Create a mortal character, a new friend. So our new mortal character is we'll keep their last name Duran just for continuity. We'll say Vincent or Michel. Michel, that's a good name. How many windows open? Michel Duran. Descendants. I spelled descendant right? Descendant. Noel Durand. A new friend. So, if our new skill is gun making, Michel Duran is probably a gun maker that taught me. Gun maker. And how do you share knowledge about their ancestor without revealing your monstrous nature? I believe we lie. Saying that that we had an ancestor that once wrote a diary about visiting France and meeting a... Why does this ad keep playing? I got it on mute. You just mute this tab. There we go. That should help that. Stupid ads. So yeah, we had an ancestor that met Noel Durand before and kept a journal or a diary of some sort. And yeah, oh, we need to add a diary to our resources. So this is a new diary. This one's not as nice as our old one. Scrap paper sewn together with needle and thread. There we go. All right. How is this conversation awkward? It's awkward because I think that Misha is like can speak French very well, almost as well as a native speaker already. Can speak Italian very well, but speaks very little Russian. And yet says that he had a Russian ancestor that traveled to France and met Michel Durand's great grandmother. Noelle Durand. Okay, well, let's put this. I think I'm going to erase this memory 5. I think I'm going to forget this. Oops. I meet Michelle Durand. And I do remember that Noelle was my love, right? Yeah, because it's in my diary. Descendants of a former love. I lie about my family visiting France in the long past. Michelle teaches me the arts of gun making. I wonder how long this friendship can survive. This is supposed to be met. Yeah, met. Alright. So I gained a skill, created a mortal character. I got so many skills. I need to be able to use something. I need to follow on some prompts to use skills. I got plenty to use. Resources, not so much. Just a diary. The Holy Grail and a docket of vampire names. With a bunch of old locations that probably aren't true anymore because vampires have to move all the time, apparently. Alright. Let's move ahead. Or behind, depending on what we roll. A 3 and a 1, so that's forward 2. That'll be 33. You know where the old things are. Create a resource and make an enemy character into a friend. Ooh. So, all of our immortals are pretty much enemies. You know where the old things are. I do know where the old things are because I have a docket with vampire names and locations. Yeah, that's definitely my first instinct on that. You know where the old things are. Create a resource and make an enemy character into a friend. Alright, our resource. First thing that jumped to my mind. The Vampire Network. Tapped into the Vampire Network. Finally, no longer a lone vampire on my own. An enemy character into a friend. Which one? Josh Day? Cordelia? I want to say Josh Day. Stole my boat. I found him in Russia. We became friends. Okay. So I can put this up here in memory 2. Do I even remember Josh Day? I don't. I don't remember Josh Day. I don't see his memory on here. think that was in my old diary. Yeah, it was. So I don't even remember that he stole my boat. This game will get you like that. Okay. So it's like meeting a new person, pretty much. Yeah. Tracked down a vampire named Josh Day from the docket I own. He accepted me in and introduced me to others of my kinds. It is good to have a friend that shares commonality. Alright, so we gained the resource, we gained kind of a friend in Josh Day. We don't know Josh's, so looking back, you want to think about it, if you want to think about it in a literary sense, Josh originally showed up, kind of became friends with, at the time, John Hauser, then betrayed him and stole his boat, disappeared. Only to be seen centuries later, but Misha slash John Hauser does not remember Josh Day betraying him. Doesn't even remember he owned a boat. And is now, and like even had a skill before, never trust an immortal, which he got from Josh Day. And now Josh Day is back. Is Josh Day going to do the same thing? I don't know. We'll just have to keep that in mind as we move forward. All right. Let's do another roll. A 6 and a 2. That's 4 and 4. That would be to prompt 37. We're getting close to things fall to dust. We're getting close to, so I can finish that thought. Getting close to prompts, I think, that can kind of end the game. Once you get past like the 40s, you can the game may end suddenly. I think the prompts go all the way up to 70 though. I know all the 70 prompts in the 70s and the late 60s are pretty much ending prompts. But yeah, you never know. Your game can always end it at some point. Things fall to dust. Lose a resource for which you have no corresponding memory. Do not create a new experience for this prompt. It simply happens as you stare in silence. Wow. Okay. Lose a resource for which you have no corresponding memory. I have a memory for I don't have a memory for the Holy Grail. I've forgotten that memory. Alright. The Holy Grail is lost. Never did anything with it. But such is the life of being a vampire. Things pass and fall to dust. Lose a resource, no corresponding memory. Do not create a new experience for this. It simply just happens. Like, just gone. Oh, wow. Alright. That's the first prompt I've come across like that in the game. Alright. Let's do another roll here. A 5 and a 2. We're going to move forward 3 to 40. Alright. How do you conceal yourself while you sleep? What steps have you taken for protection? Check a skill. Create a resource. Create a mortal servant character if you like. Okay. I'm gonna check a skill, create a resource. So, how do you conceal yourself while you sleep? Which is during the daytime, right? Horse training, time to leave, veterinary surgery, body disposal. Body disposal might be a skill that makes sense here. Create a resource and create a mortal servant character if you like. Yeah, like an undertaker. Yeah. That makes the most sense in my mind. So what I'm seeing is Misha befriends an undertaker, and because of his knowledge of body disposal, he knows like to learn about like, you know, how that process works in whatever place he's in, and befriends an undertaker, and the undertaker starts serving him because he's a vampire and probably very persuasive. Pick a skill and create a resource. Yeah, so we have a vault that we can sleep in. Body storage vault. And our undertaker's name is... Wait, that's French names. Russian names. Her name is Cosma. Cosma Yanovna. Works for me. Services and a vault. What memory do we put that under? Has to do with a friend. We could put it under memory 5 here. A local undertaker named... Forgot her name already. Cosmo. What kind of friend are you? Local undertaker named Cosmo. Pledges her servitude to me and allows me to sleep in the vaults where they store the dead. I sleep with those I have taken. Oh, alright. Kind of a mutually beneficial deal there, I'm sure. Misha provides a lot of work for Cosmo. Alright, we're going to do one more roll here, and then we'll end this stream here. I usually like to do these little solo role-playing bits in about an hour long chunk. So we'll do one more prompt, and then we'll end it there. So D10, D6, 3 and a 2, so we'll go up 2 spots, so do 42. I created the mortal servant, checked a skill, and created a resource, right? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna get a 42 here. What piece of contemporary technology can you not interact with due to your vampire nature? How did your first encounter with this technology almost get you destroyed? Check a skill. What was contemporary technology in 17th century Russia? We know it's not guns because I learned gun making from Michelle. Paper making. All right. This one requires a Google search here because I need to know what was going on then. New technologies of the 17th century. We have a knitting machine, the compound microscope, thermometers, the refracting telescope. I cannot look to the stars with the telescope, but how would that kill me? Slide rule. Oh, how about this? I just saw this. The blood transfusion. First blood transfusion was in 1625. That could be a good one. Champagne was invented in the 17th century. Late 17th century at that. Refracting telescope, slide rule, blood transfusion. I think that's the... You got steam turbine. Air pump. Yeah, a lot of telescope stuff that century. The pressure cooker was invented. The steam pump. Patents the pocket watch. Yeah, I think blood transfusion makes the most sense. Let's do that. Almost get you destroyed. Check a skill. What skill? None of my skills actually fit that, though. This is a really hard one for me. Mainly because of the time period I'm in. I mean, I could always bluff it and say, you know, I'm in a different time period, but that would kind of destroy my mortal characters I got by jumping time period forward. Because 18th and, you know, 19th century technology, all that would... There's a lot more technology there. Piece of contemporary technology can you not interact with due to your vampire nature? How did this first encounter... Oh... Okay, we can still do a telescope thing. We'll do life of the party. Okay. Check a skill. Mirror avoidance. So the refracting telescope uses lenses and mirrors, right? To look very far into the cosmos, or as far into the cosmos has been seen before. I think somebody looked at me through a telescope and didn't see me. I wasn't there. Because I'm a vampire. My reflection doesn't reflect in a mirror. Okay, there we go. I don't have a full memory. I can move memory 2 to the diary. So I can put this new memory here. A scientist shows me the inner workings and use of a new telescope that can peer into the heavens. However, my eyes are unable to discern any image that reflects from its tiny mirrors. It is my own missing reflection that startles the scientists and results in his death and my meal. All right. So that was kind of a hard one. I kind of had to do some mental gymnastics there to get that one to kind of fit in there. But yeah, I think we're gonna end this one there. That was prompt 42, question 1. We are getting closer and closer to where this might end. So maybe the next coffee time with 1,000-Year-Old Vampire will be the last. Maybe it won't be. We'll see. You never know. You could roll a few times and end up going backwards quite a few prompts. But yeah, so if you watch this, appreciate you joining. Aaron, thank you if you're still here. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. Check out my YouTube channel. This is where all my VODs from Twitch go. I'm just now getting back into streaming on Twitch. I figure if I'm going to play games, I might as well stream them, right? I welcome anybody that comes in the chat and hangs out with me. You know, even if you just say hello, I don't mind lurkers. I'm a lurker myself. I go into many a Twitch channel and do not chat at all. So I know the feeling if you're out there. But yeah, thank you all for watching. And yeah, just keep an eye out for my channel. I don't keep a set schedule. I don't have a set gaming schedule that I stream. I should set one, but I don't know. I have a fear of commitment sometimes, you know. But yeah, let me leave it at that, and I will catch you all on another day. Thanks for watching. Peace.